Welcome to a journey that could change your financial future forever. Like many of you, I learned about the importance of an emergency fund the hard way when my car broke down on the way to work 2 years ago. That moment, standing on the side of the road with just $50 in my account and a $700 repair bill looming over my head, became my wake-up call. The embarrassment of having to borrow money from friends and family was a turning point that pushed me to take control of my financial security. Welcome to Budget and Beyond. If you've ever faced an unexpected bill, you know why an emergency fund is non-negotiable. Today, I'll show you how I built mine from zero, and how you can too. Building an emergency fund might seem daunting, especially when you're starting from scratch. The key is to begin with a realistic and achievable goal, rather than getting overwhelmed by the commonly recommended 3 to 6 months of expenses. When I started my journey, I set my initial target at just $500. This modest amount felt within reach and gave me the confidence to take those first crucial steps toward financial security. Understanding what constitutes a true emergency is essential before you begin building your fund. An emergency is an unexpected, necessary, and urgent expense, like medical bills, car repairs, or sudden job loss. It's not for planned expenses like holiday shopping or routine car maintenance. This distinction helped me stay focused and prevented me from dipping into my emergency fund for non-essential purchases. The foundation of a successful emergency fund is choosing the right place to store your money. I recommend opening a separate high-yield savings account specifically for your emergency fund. This separation creates a psychological barrier that makes it harder to dip into the funds for non-emergencies, while the higher interest rate helps your money grow faster than it would in a traditional savings account. One of the most effective strategies I discovered was automating my savings. I started by setting up an automatic transfer of $50 from each paycheck to my emergency fund. The beauty of automation is that it removes the temptation to spend that money elsewhere. After a few months, I barely noticed these transfers, but my emergency fund kept growing steadily. Looking for additional income sources can significantly accelerate your emergency fund growth. I started freelancing online during my evenings and weekends, dedicating every dollar earned to my emergency fund. My first freelance payment of $200 went straight into savings, and watching that balance grow became incredibly motivating. Even small amounts of extra income can make a substantial difference over time. Tracking your progress is crucial for maintaining motivation. I created a simple spreadsheet to monitor my emergency fund's growth and celebrated every milestone along the way. Each time I reached a goal, whether it was $500 or $1,000, I took a moment to acknowledge my achievement and set a new target. This positive reinforcement helped me stay committed to my savings goals. The real test of an emergency fund comes when you actually need to use it. The first time I had to replace a tire on my car, I was able to pay the $200 bill without stress or worry. This experience validated all the sacrifices and effort I had put into building my fund. It was incredibly empowering to handle an unexpected expense without having to rely on credit cards or loans. One strategy that helped me build my fund faster was the save your savings approach. Whenever I saved money using coupons, shopping sales, or finding better deals on regular expenses, I transferred the difference to my emergency fund. These small amounts added up surprisingly quickly and helped accelerate my progress without requiring additional budget cuts. The power of consistency cannot be overstated when building an emergency fund. There were months when I could only save $25 or $30, but I never let that discourage me. Every dollar contributed to my financial security, and maintaining the habit of regular saving proved more important than the amount saved each time. An often overlooked aspect of emergency fund building is the importance of reviewing and adjusting your strategy regularly. As my income and expenses changed, I periodically reassessed my savings goals and adjusted my automatic transfers accordingly. This flexibility helped ensure my emergency fund kept growing even as my financial situation evolved. The psychological benefits of having an emergency fund extend far beyond financial security. Once I had built a substantial cushion, I noticed a significant reduction in my overall stress levels. Knowing I had resources available for unexpected expenses allowed me to focus more energy on long-term financial goals and opportunities for growth. Creating an emergency fund requires a shift in mindset from reactive to proactive financial management. Instead of waiting for emergencies to happen and then scrambling to cover expenses, I learned to prepare for the unexpected. This change in perspective has influenced how I approach all aspects of my financial life. Learning to say no to non-essential purchases became easier as my emergency fund grew. When faced with impulse buying opportunities, I would remind myself of how it felt to be stranded with a broken-down car and no savings. This mental association helped me prioritize my long-term financial security over short-term gratification. The journey to building an emergency fund taught me valuable lessons about financial discipline and the importance of having a clear purpose for my money. Each dollar saved represented a step toward greater financial independence and peace of mind. The satisfaction of reaching my savings goals far outweighed any temporary sacrifices made along the way. Building an emergency fund is not just about accumulating money, it's about creating a foundation for your overall financial well-being. As my fund grew, I found myself making better financial decisions in other areas of my life, from budgeting to investing. The habits and discipline developed through this process have had lasting positive effects on my financial journey. Starting an emergency fund is one of the most important financial decisions you can make. Whether you begin with $5 or $50 per week, the key is to start now and remain consistent. Remember that every successful emergency fund started with a single dollar, and yours can too. Take that first step today toward building your financial safety net. Don't wait until a breakdown forces you to act. Start your emergency fund today. Comment, "I'm starting now," if you're in. And subscribe for more practical steps to financial freedom.